Good evening, everyone. My name is Laika D. Gripo, and my topic is all about dangling modifier. So I know you are all curious what is dangling modifier. Dangling modifier is a descriptive word or phrase that is not clearly or logically connected to the word as it is intended to modify. It often leads to confusion or humorous interpretation. This is a present problem in our writing since it makes our intended meaning unclear. This usually occurs to the beginning of the sentence, though it can also be found at the end of the sentence. So, I have here two examples of dangling modifiers or incorrect sentences. The first one is running down the street, the car almost hit me. The modifier here is running down the street. And it seems like it seems to describe the car, which is nganong ang car ang iyahang gi-describe nga nagdagan sa street. But, di ba? But it should be the person or the subject performing the action or ang person ang nagdagan. Mao na dahil ni siya ang ga-create og dangling modifiers kay libog naman. And the second example is running to the bus, the backpack fell in the mud. The sentence that the backpack or the subject was running to the bus, di ba? Mura siya ang backpack ang nagdagan. Rather than ang person. 'Di ba ang person is not mentioned in the sentence, maong mura siya confusing. Kay when we say running to the bus, murag ang backpack ang fell sa mud, dili ang person nga ga-carry sa backpack. Kay since the person is not uh, stated at the sentence or written at the sentence. So mauna ang dangling modifier. So just like everyone, I am also curious to why dangling modifier is a problem. So why? Confusion. The first one is confusion. Dangling modifiers can mislead the sentence and can confuse the readers. Kaya 'di ba, since wala man dili man ilabot sa dangling modifier, i-describe ang person nga nagdo sa action. So libog siya. The second is clarity. Modifiers should be clearly attached to the word they describe to make or to make it to make the meaning clear or for uh, readers to understand it quick or clearly. The third is professionalism. Uh, of course, professionalism here we can use the proper usage that reflects strong writing skills, especially in um, technical writing. Dili man ta makagamit sa modifiers, dangling modifiers sa technical writing, especially if we are making kanang instructions. Dili man ta pwede nga magbuhat og instruction nga naa siya dangling modifiers kay bisan gani og kanang mga instruction lang nga like normal instructions nga wala nagamit og dangling modifier maka-confuse pa sa readers. So unsa na lang if ibutangan pa nimo og dangling modifiers ang imuhang instruction. So libog na siya kaayo, dili na kayo masabtan sa kuan, mura siya mawala bitaw ang professionalism. Of course, we have two strategies to fix dangling modifier. The first one is name the actor or the agent as the subject of the sentence. So I'll be giving you examples about that. The first example is walking toward the forest. The sun began to set. So here, ang atong dangling modifier is walking towards the forest seems sound as if ang sun ang nag-walk sa forest or towards the forest. So ato siyang i-revise or i-change, dagdag butangan na tuog actors ang after sa modifier. So ang ato na dayong right sentence or revision nga sentence is walking towards the forest, I watched as the sun began to set. The actor I is named as the subject of the sentence. So ako na, dili na ang ang sun ang naglakaw sa forest, ako na. Nagets ra ko ninyo? Okay, move forward to the second strategy. Name the actors or the agent and the modifier itself. So naagyap ng example about that, and I want you to listen about this carefully. Walking, let's use the example lang da gihapon earlier. Walking towards the forest, the sun began to set. So, di ba diriya kay ang modifier naman atong butangan og actors. So, ato na din siyang i-revise. So, ang iyang correct sentence na, as I walked towards the forest, the sun began to set. So, the actor, ako na. Gidescribe na ko sa modifier nga ako ang nagbaktas sa forest kay nagset na ang sun. Nagets ra ko ninyo. So how can we avoid dangling modifiers sa ato ang writing or sa atong pagsulat? First one is be clear. Ensure that our subject performing the action is identified near the modifier. So kani magtapad gini sila sa modifier. Dapat should clear gid atong kanang kuan nga ma-identify largo sa readers nga ay si kuan di ay ang nagbuhat aning nga butang. Kay sama sa akong gihatag nga example ganina, di ba confusing na siya kay nganong ang sun ang naglakaw. Dapat ang person. So diri dapat clear ka nga ang person ang naglakaw sa forest. Gets? The second is revised for clarity. If unsure ka sa imuhang gisulat, you can read it aloud, read it again and again. If confusing pa siya, you can revise it man gihapon. Kay kung ikaw mismo nagsulat na confused ka, unsa na lang ang readers or ang imuhang hatagan ana or ang magbasa ana nga imuhang sinulat or nga writing imuhang gibuhat nga sulat, di ba? Mas confusing pagid siya sa magbasa. The third one is keep it close. Kani guys, mo ni siya ang pinakamurag kuan na gid nga like dapat ang inyuhang subject ug ang modifier dikit per me or nagtapad per me. Kay sa atong example ganina, modifier gi-describe ang subject or ang modifier itself naa sa siya'y subject. So di ba dikit, di ba kayo siya? But before I finish this presentation, again, dangling modifiers is a descriptive phrase that incorrectly modifies a word or phrases nga can cause into a confusion sa readers or humorous kanang interpretation. How to correct is to identify the attaching modifiers to the right subject. Review the sentence for clarity to avoid confusion and improve writing. Thank you everyone for listening.
So paragraph is a distinct unit of written text consisting of a group of related sentences focused on a single main idea or topic. So it serves as a building block for creating longer pieces of writing, such as essays, articles, reports, and stories. So paragraph provide structure and organization to written communication by grouping together information that shares a common theme or thought. So by employing different paragraph structure and technique, writers can achieve various effects and enhance the flow of their content. So paragraph 2 no, is a group of sentences that work together to discuss the main idea or topic. So it begins with a topic sentence, which introduce the main point and then follows with supporting sentences that explain or expand on that idea. So a paragraph ends with the idea is fully explained or when it's time to move on to a new idea. So paragraph help organize writing, making it easier for readers to understand the message. So there are 5 types of paragraph. The first one is expository paragraph. The second one is persuasive paragraph. The third one is narrative paragraph. The fourth is descriptive paragraph. The last is compare and contrast paragraph. So, expository paragraph is to explain or give information about something. So, for example, photosynthesis is the process by which plants make their own food. They take in carbon dioxide from the air, absorb the sunlight, and use water from the soil to produce glucose. Persuasive paragraph is to persuade or convince a reader to agree with the writer's perspective. So, persuasive paragraph tries to get the reader to accept a particular point of view to understand the writer's position. So, these paragraphs still concentrate on a single point, but instead of focusing purely on facts and research, they also support opinions with rhetorical devices, logical reasoning, and emotional appeals. For example, exercise is important for maintaining good health. It helps strengthen the heart, improves mood, and even increase life expectancy. So everyone should make time for physical activity. Narrative paragraph is to entertain by telling a story. So, narrative paragraph follows a sequence or event or a story-like progression aiming to engage readers by transporting them into a specific time and place. This type of paragraph often employs vivid description, sensory details, and character interaction to create a sense of immersion. For example of narrative paragraph, one summer day I went hiking in a mountain. So as I reached the top, the sun began to set, and I felt a sense of accomplishment while looking at the stunning view below. Descriptive paragraph is to describe something in detail so the readers can picture it in their mind. So for example, the park was full of colorful flowers, bright red tulips lined the path, tall, leafy trees provided shade. Last one is compared and contrast paragraph. So the purpose of this is to highlight similarities and differences between two or more subjects. So this paragraph present a balanced comparison by discussing both similarities and differences. So, for example, coffee and tea are both popular drinks, but they have key differences. So, coffee has more caffeine, which makes people feel more awake. On the other hand, tea has less caffeine and comes in many flavors. While coffee is often better, tea can be sweet, spicy, or even fruity. So, both drinks have their benefits, but people choose based on the taste of caffeine needs.
Hi, it's Kuya Astor, and I'm tasked to continue the discussion on the review of structure of English, and for my part, it's about the emphasis on structure. The English language is a dynamic system that is governed by structured rules that define how words, phrases, and sentences are formed. Understanding the English structure is essential for clear communication, accurate interpretation, and effective writing. This review explores the fundamental components of English structure, focusing on syntax, morphology, phrase and sentence construction, and their interrelated roles in communication. Another component of English structure is the syntax, the structure of phrases and sentences. Syntax refers to the arrangement of words and phrases to create a grammatically correct sentence. English follows a relatively fixed word order, the typically so-called SVO, or the subject-verb-object, that is to maintain clarity in meaning. Key syntactic elements include three. First are the phrases, second, clauses, and third are the sentence types. Phrases, as a review, are a group of words that function as a unit, such as noun phrases like the beautiful garden, and then verb phrases like is running quickly. Clauses, on the other hand, are a group of words or groups of words containing a subject and a predicate, classified as independent or the dependent. Third are the sentence types. These are the simple sentence, compound sentence, complex sentence, and the compound complex sentence.